Ladies and gentlemen, let me have your attention, because what I'm about to share with you could change everything. There's a concept that every successful person understands, something that quietly separates the dreamers from the doers. The starters from the finishers. It's not talent, it's not luck, and it's not even motivation. It's consistency. Consistency is the bridge between where you are right now and where you want to be. It's the invisible thread connecting your present reality to your future success. It's not flashy, it doesn't get applause, but it's the quiet force that turns ambition into achievement. But here's the catch: consistency doesn't just happen. It's not some magical feeling that shows up every morning to pull you out of bed and drag you to your goals. No, consistency is a decision, a choice, a commitment you make to yourself, regardless of how you feel. Because motivation? That comes and goes. It's like the weather, sunny today, stormy tomorrow. But consistency? That's what stays when the skies turn dark. So today, I want to break down what it really means to be consistent, not when it's easy, but when it's hard, not when you're inspired, but when you're exhausted, not when everyone's watching, but when it's just you, alone with your thoughts, your excuses, and your dreams. Let me give you a framework that can help you stay grounded and consistent through anything. Habits are the foundation of everything you will ever accomplish. You might think success is about working harder, staying disciplined, or sacrificing more than everyone else, and sure, those things matter, but without the right habits, all that effort can be wasted. Why? Because habits are what guide your behavior when no one is looking. They're the automatic decisions you make every day, the routines that run quietly in the background like an operating system. Think of habits as your daily default. If you're not consciously creating them, then you're unconsciously creating ones that might be holding you back. It's not the big, dramatic moments that define your path, it's the small, quiet choices you make daily. Wake up and scroll through your phone or read for 10 minutes. Skip the gym or push through? Eat clean or give in? Just this once. Let's be real, we've all had that moment where we said, "I'll do it tomorrow." You had a plan, a goal, but then life got in the way. You were tired, stressed, busy, and tomorrow seemed like the better option. But here's the hard truth: every time you put it off, you reinforce the idea that your goals are optional, that your success can wait. Consistency starts when you stop giving yourself that option, when your habits become non-negotiable, not based on mood, but based on commitment. We've all heard it: go big or go home. Sounds inspiring, right? But the truth is, aiming too big too fast is one of the quickest ways to burn out. You get excited, set a massive goal, start with a bang, and then the results don't come fast enough. You feel discouraged, you stall, and eventually, you quit. Why? Because big goals without small steps feel overwhelming. The secret isn't in doing it all at once, it's in starting with something so simple you can't fail. Let me give you a personal example. I once decided I needed to get in shape. I didn't start by running marathons or lifting heavy weights. I started by walking, just 20 minutes every morning. That was it. It felt easy, manageable, and doable, but showing up for those 20 minutes every day changed everything. Before I knew it, I was running, then lifting, then seeing real change. It wasn't about intensity, it was about consistency. That daily action, however small, created momentum, and momentum is powerful. It builds confidence, it builds belief, it makes you realize, hey, I can do this. Don't underestimate the power of small wins. Each one is a brick in the foundation you're building. And eventually, those bricks become a wall of progress, a wall that stands strong even when the motivation fades. So ask yourself, what's one thing you can commit to today that supports your goal? Not something extreme, something doable, something you can stick with, even on your worst days. Here's the truth: it's easy to be consistent when someone is holding you to it. When there's a coach, a boss, a friend checking in on you. But what happens when you're on your own? What happens when no one's there to see whether you show up or sleep in? That's when real consistency is tested. Because success doesn't care who's watching. It's built in the dark, in the quiet hours, when it's just you versus your excuses. So I'll ask you again, who are you when no one's watching? Accountability starts with you. It means creating a system that makes quitting impossible. Maybe it's journaling your habits. Maybe it's setting daily goals you check off. Maybe it's tracking progress in a calendar. It doesn't need to be fancy, but it needs to be real. Something that reminds you every day, I'm committed. I'm in this. Create rules you don't break. And follow them as if your future depends on it, because it does. You've built the habit. You've shown up every day. But now it's time to ask, where am I going? It's time to set goals. Not just any goals, small, clear, achievable goals that move you forward day by day. These goals are like checkpoints on a long journey. They're proof that you're progressing, even when the finish line still feels far away. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. And track it, write it down, reflect, celebrate the small wins. Because when you can see how far you've come, you gain the energy to keep moving forward. That's how you build confidence. That's how you build resilience. If you take nothing else from this today, take this. What you do every single day becomes who you are. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need more motivation. You just need to show up, today, tomorrow, the next day, one step at a time, one habit at a time. And when you do that, you'll wake up one day and realize you become the person you always wanted to be. So start today. Pick one habit. Make it non-negotiable. Show up for it, no matter what. Let me tell you a quick story. I have a friend. Let's call him Mike. Now, Mike's always been full of big dreams. He'd say things like, one day, I'm going to write a book. I've got a story in my head. I just need the time to sit down and do it. That dream lived in him for years. But every time he started, something would get in the way: work, family, life, distractions, excuses. He'd write for a few days, then stop, start again, stop again. Before he knew it, a whole year had passed, and the book? Still just an idea. Then one day, something shifted in Mike. He'd had enough of just talking. He was tired of his own excuses. This time, he promised himself things would be different. And he made a plan, simple, not overwhelming. He committed to writing 500 words a day. That's it, not a chapter, not a whole book, just 500 words. No excuses, no exceptions. He wrote those 500 words whether he felt inspired or not. Whether it was a weekday or a holiday. Whether he was tired or busy. Every single day, Mike showed up. He didn't care about perfection, he just stayed consistent. Now, 500 words might not sound like much. But here's the thing. When you do it every day, those small actions stack up. And after 6 months of consistent effort, guess what? Mike had a completed manuscript. Not an idea, not a draft collecting dust. A finished book. Here's what's really powerful. Mike didn't have a coach checking in. No accountability partner. No one texting him asking, "Did you write today?" It was just him. He held himself accountable. Because Mike understood this. If he didn't do the work, no one else would. If he gave up, no one would care more than he did. And that mindset? That was the game changer. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to wait for the perfect time. It's easy to say, I'll start tomorrow. But life doesn't wait. And success? It doesn't respond to excuses. If you want something, you've got to be willing to show up, especially when no one's watching. That's what Mike did. He kept showing up. No applause, no recognition, just quiet, consistent action, even on the hard days. Even when quitting would have been easier. He honored his commitment, and because of that, he turned his dream into reality. That's the power of self-accountability. Not the kind someone else gives you, but the kind you build for yourself. Now, let's talk about you. You've got to create a system that makes slipping up hard. Set goals and treat your deadlines like sacred promises. Remind yourself daily why you started, because the truth is, no one's coming to save you. No one's going to chase your dream for you. It's just you. And if you truly want to level up, if you want to be great, you have to become your own standard setter. When you hold yourself to a higher level of discipline, consistency becomes second nature. It becomes part of your identity. You don't think about it. You just do it. You show up. You execute. You keep moving forward. But I won't lie, there will be days when it's hard. Days when the progress feels slow. When you question if it's even working. When it feels like you're standing still. That's when you have to dig deep. That's when you remember why you started. Because the difference between people who talk about success and people who achieve it comes down to one thing: execution. Dreamers dream, but doers? Doers do. Even when it's tough. Even when it's lonely. Even when there's no one clapping for them. So ask yourself right now, are you going to keep talking about what you want to do? Or are you going to be the one who actually makes it happen? Because here's the truth. Your real character shows up when no one's watching. So hold yourself accountable. No excuses. No shortcuts. Just unwavering commitment. And when you do that, when you decide that showing up every day is non-negotiable, nothing can stop you. Nothing. Remember this. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's not about hitting the mark every single time. That's not reality. You're going to mess up. You'll have off days. You'll stumble. You'll feel like you're not getting anywhere. But that's not failure. Failure is when you stop showing up. Success is when you keep moving. Even when it's hard. Even when you don't feel like it. You want to stay consistent? Here's how. Step 1. Build non-negotiable habits. Set routines that become second nature. These are the daily actions that fuel your momentum. They may seem small now, but they build strength, discipline, and results over time. Step 2. Set small, achievable goals. Break your big dream into pieces you can tackle today. Not next week, today. Those tiny wins? They build your confidence. They remind you that you're making progress. Even if it's one step at a time. And track your progress. Write it down. Celebrate your wins. When you can see how far you've come, you'll be less likely to quit. Step 3. Own your accountability. Not the kind where someone else checks in. The kind where you decide, I'm doing this, no matter what. You take full ownership of your vision. You stay locked in, even when no one else is watching. That's when you separate the dreamers from the doers. Dreamers talk. Doers execute. They grind in silence. They show up for themselves. They keep going when no one claps. Let me remind you, Mike didn't have anyone pushing him. He pushed himself. And because of that, he didn't just talk about a dream. He lived it. He finished what he started. You can too. Success isn't based on how motivated you feel. It's based on your level of commitment. When you build discipline into your identity, consistency isn't a chore, it's just who you are. So let's wrap this up with a reminder. Build non-negotiable habits. Set small goals and track your progress. Hold yourself accountable every single day. That's how dreams turn into reality. That's how progress is made. Not through perfection, through consistency. So now the question is, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to keep dreaming? Or are you ready to do? Because if you keep showing up, if you keep doing the work, you'll turn your vision into something real. And you'll prove to yourself and the world that you've got what it takes.